ridiculous.
There it is. Now you hear us.
Oh, you missed. What a hell of a riff.
Now you're hearing us. Hello, everybody.
This is why we shouldn't do this ourselves.
We were rushing.
AKA Christian, the IT guy. You missed me talking about how dope the wheelie chairs are.
Apologies, everybody. What are they saying? Wrong answers only. I love it.
Oh, man.
Okay, now let's start anew. Hello, everybody. Look where we are.
We're in Philadelphia, everybody.
We are.
Who got the hint? Wit. Who got that?
Nobody got it, I think.
Alexis is telling yo mama jokes. Imagine.
People are saying we're better muted.
Oh.
Nicole Hack saying that.
You're breaking my heart, Nicole Hack.
We are in Philadelphia. We're currently in Subaru Park. Shout out to the Philadelphia Union for welcoming us. We are
in the stadium right now. We are in the new e-gaming suite that they have here.
I mean,
the updated e-gaming suite.
You see it there, the Subaru Esports Hub. So shouts to Subaru. I mean, great.
Shouts to Subaru. Shouts to whoever put the E in front of sports. Really, geniuses.
The 4-wheel drive. Subaru's all is it. Is every car 4-wheel drive on Subaru?
No, none of them are 4-wheel drive. They're all wheel drive.
Well, my bad.
How dare you? How dare you?
I didn't mean to disparage.
As someone who owned a Subaru WRX STI that was stolen many times, I can attest to you it is a great car if you are someone who is into doing bad stuff and need to get away from other people.
Okay. All right. Obviously, we do not co-sign whatever activities.
It's also great for rally racing, which is dope. Shouts to rally racing.
Yeah.
They give you a free membership to rally racing, not like on the side of a mountain. It's like in a Walmart parking lot with cones. But they give you a free year membership when you get a WRX.
And you don't need a membership to do donuts.
No, but you need your own cones. You need your own cones, which is so difficult to get out there and put it out yourself.
Joey Gusto say, yo, y'all at the Sub. That's right. Check this out. The wide angle. We are here at the Esports Hub, the Subaru Esports Hub. So again, this is when we went independent, we said we were gonna take the show to you.
That's right. And by you, we mean rooms and stadiums you've never been in.
Correct.
We said we should do this from the middle of the pitch, and everyone was like, don't you dare touch the grass.
Which, I was a little upset that the Philadelphia Union didn't let us do the show from the center of the pitch.
Bro, we said, let's do this from Jim Curtin's sneaker closet. And they were like, yo, don't you go anywhere near Jim Curtin's house.
But no, we're super excited. We're going to be here we're doing our show.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
What happened?
Freddie Alarcon.
What did Freddie say?
He said, LOL, high schools in Florida have rally racing teams. Florida, there's no rules in Florida. There is zero. Every other school tries to teach you to drive safe. In Florida, they're like, rally racing, freshmen, get in there.
Thomas said traveling circus. And Thomas, we have a couple of Philadelphia Union fans. Put dupe in the chat, okay?
Drop a dupe.
Okay? Give us all the dupes.
Put a snake emoji in there if you're feeling the Philadelphia Union, huh?
So obviously the Philadelphia Union are playing in the U.S. Open Cup tonight in Orlando. So the players are not here.
We try to get them to fly us to Orlando. We're like, no, we're trying to do this with you, the Philadelphia Union. They would not. But we got to use the empty stadium, which is dope, dude.
We get to use. You mean use it? Use it for what?
We get to use the empty stadium to do this.
It just sounds when you say to use it. It just sounds nefarious.
I just think that's where your head is, bro. Also, we should leave we should have brought like a Cooligans gift and left it somewhere in the stadium as a
little like
look under your chair, look under your chair.
Easter egg hunt.
Little Easter egg. Would have been dope, right? What if it's just an egg and like, yo, this egg is gone back. Why would they leave an egg? I'm like, congrats.
We're getting a lot of big old dupes. Justin Friedberg saying in
big
the
old dupe.
Thomas says the bathroom. That's what you would use. We
put him in the room where they keep all the lamppost Crisco. You know what that is, right?
No, I don't.
Remember the dudes? They put Crisco on the lampposts in the middle of Philly when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and people still climbed them. And then that one dude ate horse poop. Okay. Philly gets wild when they win, boy.
All right, I've always said, eat horse dupe, not horse poop.
Yeah.
I've always said this. Everybody.
Honestly, I've been like, that's how he answered to when I said, hey, you want to do a podcast called The Cooligans? He said that, and I was like, I don't even know what that means, fam.
But for some reason, he always says it.
Got some free time since my local Christian Polanco / IT guy is working on my computer. Shouts to Crimson Pizza. Every office has their own Christian Polanco.
You gotta love the
What kind of IT guy do you have though? Do you have one of them who's like flirting with everybody, or do you have like Christian, like the virgin, who just like knows a lot about computers?
Apparently, these are the only two types of IT guys.
Well, which one do you have?
You know those Rico Suave IT guys with their Cisco certifications, right? No, but we do have a
Cisco certification.
All right, it's a great. It's an important and very popular firewall. Anyway. They make switches. They do a lot of stuff. Okay. Network switches. But we do have a guest coming very soon. So we're going to be joined a little bit later by Marlon LeBlanc. He's the head coach of Philadelphia Union 2. So if there's any
an actual head coach.
Like an actual head coach.
Someone on this show will know something about tactics finally.
Okay, because that's not what you come here for.
Right.
All right. But
if
no,
you made a grave mistake.
but we'll talk to him about Philadelphia Union 2.
When you
MLS.
to fix people's computers, you ever look through their files?
Well, Alexis, what do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, I've fixed computers for some awful human beings.
Yeah,
right?
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. Of course, I looked through the photos, right? Did you look through work stuff on their desktop?
Look, we're going to have this conversation off air. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, you think the statute of limitations is still on there?
And I Score Bruce said, Crisco certifications. It's a good one. It's a good callback.
Just Alvin said, LOL Alexis, that's Cisco, not Cisco.
Justin Friedberg said, code me like one of your French apps. Good. I love it.
Where would we be without this chat? Just two of us screaming in an empty room.
Okay. You make us seem sane, chat, so thank you.
Cisco Crisco Polanco.
That's the kind of IT guy
that's
I am.
Gotta be a nickname.
That's right. Why is he always oily?
I'm telling you, he's a slippery dude, bro.
I hope Marlon he's gonna fit in quite nicely.
I hope he's not
to this dynamic.
I hope he's not listening to anything. By the way, shouts to everyone who were like, and Alexis is back, based on the clips we've posted.
Okay.
We had a wild time yesterday. We had a good time yesterday on Prem Show.
Right. So yeah, check that out if you have not, because it got pretty ridiculous.
Don't play it out loud if you've got children or parents or people who love you and will wonder why the hell you listen to this garbage.
If you have friends of any kind, it's not for them. All right.
Crimson Pizza called you Pele Ethernet.
Amazing. PFC Manners at Pele Crisco.
Oh, God.
Love it.
I love that the Pele thing will just not die. It's perfect.
Justin Friedberg asked, what soccer player would make the best IT guy?
Oh, I want to say Dax McCarty.
All right. He has an IT guy name.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
He sounds, and also, you know how like he's just already frustrated just from having to talk to you?
Right.
That's an IT guy. He knows more about the computer than you. Mm-hmm. You're trying to explain. It's like when you tell a mechanic, it's going ring, 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 and he's like, just move out of the way, dude. I'm gonna change your oil and tell you I changed 8 parts on your car and charged you a lot more money.
I would say one of the this is a show about soccer. I promise. We are in a soccer stadium. We'll get to it.
Hey, we got a new member, a new supporter.
CXN Collective. Thank you so much for joining. Hit that join button if you haven't yet.
Oh yeah, you get the special emotes, my G.
The Jimmy Fallon's character on SNL. Remember the IT guy that he was like, move.
Yeah.
I'll do it or whatever.
Yeah.
That guy ruined the whole reputation for IT guys, because everybody saw that and everybody's like, oh, this is how they are. They're a bunch of nerds that they think.
That's what ruined it for IT guys. That one sketch, not all of you and your personalities.
Look, I've worked with enough IT guys to say that I'm probably I'm more of an outlier.
Yeah, you're the coolest IT guy.
I'm the coolest IT
guy. Which goes to show how low the bar is set.
Andrew Johnson said Kai Kamara would be a good IT.
I could see Kai Kamara.
Yeah, I could see that too.
He's
savvy.
He's got a calming presence, you know.
Okay.
Right?
I feel like is that an IT guy
I feel like you
quality?
need an IT when you're like, my files, you know, or whatever people yell. The cloud. You need someone to walk in and be like, hey, Relax.
Justin Freeber said, Alexis is going to ask Marlon the real question: is cheesesteak better than a chopped cheese?
Why would I ask him that? We all know the answer.
Right.
The answer's no.
So he'll be in a couple minutes. But so if there's any, it's genuinely, if there's any questions that you may want to ask him, feel free to
put it in the chat. Also,
to
IT crowd. While we're talking about it, 2 of the greatest episodes of scripted TV.
Okay.
IT crowd, incredible.
So a couple of things. Obviously, today we're gonna be. There's a lot to discuss. We're in Subaru Park. We'll talk about the Open Cup match for the Philadelphia Union coming up. We'll look at some of the matches that are happening today and tomorrow.
If you could tell, we've taken a much more professional tone. That's because the coach is working.
Okay.
We've suddenly stopped joking about IT employees.
You know, we don't.
We've just taken it much more. Would it become ESPN all of a sudden?
I just want to let people know what the rundown is going to be because
we've always done that.
I'm just saying there might be some new people from Philly that expect a certain level of professionalism.
So you've never been to Philly before, is what you're saying.
But no, a lot to discuss. Well, I want it because you see the title and the thumbnail here on YouTube. NWSL, we'll talk about some of the matches in the Challenge Cup, some of the ridiculous refereeing decisions.
Missed calls. You know.
Okay. And they happen in MLS as well. So at least there's equality there when it comes to poor refereeing.
Look, it's even. That's what we wanted.
But let's introduce our first guest here, or only guest. So I just want to make sure that we give him the honor. But we here at the Subaru Esports Hub, and our guest today,
our one and only guest, ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of your Philly Union 2. Put your hands together. Only Marlon LeBlanc, everybody. Come on.
Hey, there it is.
Already regretting his decision to be a guest on our show.
One of you guys is an Arsenal fan, right?
Right.
So I'm all about this show.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. All right. I'm the Everton fan, but
hopefully slide in a little more. We won't bite you.
Hopefully we beat you in a couple weeks.
Never gonna happen. Final game of the season.
Marlon, so great to meet you. This is our first time meeting you. We're live here from Subaru Park. It's an absolute honor.
I have to ask a first question. Found out this gentleman right here, also from Jersey. I'm born and raised in Newark.
Sir.
So you know the question, and I kind of feel like I know what the answer is going to be because you're from East Windsor, which is near Princeton. And even though if you look at a map, Princeton's in North Jersey, they like to act like they're part of South Jersey. So I have to ask, and this is going to hurt my heart, is it Taylor ham or is it pork roll?
It's ham.
Taylor ham?
Yeah, man.
Whoa!
Oh, my God!
All day, every day.
All day, every day. You heard the answer, folks. The interview can continue.
This is quite a shock. Yeah, usually when you're this deep south in...
But Princeton ain't that south, but people in
I'm
Princeton.
Heights Town, though.
Yeah,
I'm Heights Town.
Okay, so you were born in East Windsor.
We're the lower side.
Yeah. Princeton.
East Windsor, not West Windsor.
Also, Princeton and Newark have a lot in common.
But no, this is super cool. Obviously, the Philadelphia Union, obviously the first team are in Orlando. So thank you so much for coming through and chatting with us. But MLS next. So let's start there because a lot of MLS teams have their second teams now, and we're seeing how many matches have even been played? Probably less than 10, right?
We're on week 8 of the season.
Okay.
We've had one.
So what's been?
You're in second place.
I think we are second in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So this experience so far, I mean, we've spoken to a couple people from like the MLS offices about how MLS Next is going. But for a coach for the team, what has been the experience like in playing these matches and getting these maybe even some of the first team players and academy players some real playing time?
Yeah, it's been a challenge. Certainly, it's hard to scout, right? Because you never know what you're going to see on the weekend, and even with us, we work pretty closely with our first team here, and in particular, a lot of our young guys have been getting time with us from the first team. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge because planning your game day is a little bit difficult when you don't know who you're always going to have and who you're going to be playing up again. So. I will say that challenge has been fun though. It's probably tested me in a different way that I've never been expected or I've never anticipated being tested. But luckily we're at a club here that we kind of don't care what other people think. We're going to do it our way, and we do it our way every week.
All right.
When it comes to managing or being the head coach of a team like the like Philadelphia Union 2, how much do you have to play exactly like the first team? Is that part of it? Is like developing the player to play in that position, or are you like Jimmy, baby? I mean, have you thought about doing it this way?
Look, we can't play exactly the way the first team does because we don't have the players that the first team does. So It's a little bit different, but our principles of what we try and do are almost identical. And so if Paxton Aronson's going to come play for me, he's going to come play in the 10, and he's going to do it in the fashion, or hopefully as close to the way Danny Gosdog does it. So Jimmy will ask me to play a certain guy a certain amount of minutes or play him in a certain role, and we'll do that. But pretty much everything we do mirrors the first team, because the idea is that the guys on our team are going to get to the first team at some point.
Right.
And as far as mirroring styles, what about Jim Curtin's sneaker game? Is there a competition?
You coordinate? How does this work?
My sneaker game isn't as good as Jimmy's because he spends a little bit more money on his, and they don't pay me quite enough to buy his Jordan. But I think I shouldn't say Nike, but yeah, my Nike game is pretty good too.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Kids got swag. You ain't need to buy the top Jordans to get swag. When you look at what your goal is it a player by player? Is there a number in your head that you like to say, like, I'd love to get X amount of players to get minutes in the first team, or I'd like to have something specific happen? What is it how you set your goal on a player by player basis?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's as that detailed as to say a certain number. I think for me, it's about just giving them the environment that they can make it. It's providing them a platform for them to be able to come in every day and get towards their goal. And listen, it's everybody's goal. It's not always going to work out. Maybe it's one or two a year get through to the first team. I've been blessed since I've been here to see 6 or 7 get through to the first team. But for me, it's literally just about providing them a platform where they want to be in. They want to be in our environment, whether they're a first-team player and they're coming down to get minutes in the second team. I want to make sure that I'm providing those guys an environment that they actually want to be playing in the second team because they know it's beneficial for them for when they get into the first-team lineup that they're going to be able to perform.
Yeah.
And the same with the guys that come through our academy is getting to the second team with the hopes of getting to the first team.
And I was going to ask about that. Just if you can talk a little bit about the point of pride that the Philadelphia Union have when it comes to academy players making it and getting it on the first team. Obviously, there's so many incredible stories, and obviously seeing Brendan Aronson, 2-3 years ago is out here and thriving, and now he is expected to be at a World Cup and maybe a big transfer in Europe.
After him,
but the point of pride of getting to that point, what does that mean to see a player like Brendan Aronson to these young players in the academy?
I think it's the model, right? It's the model. They see it happen, and they saw it with Mark McKenzie as well.
Right.
Going to the national team, probably going to a World Cup here soon. That this project, the Union Academy, is a pathway to being an elite in world football, right? And I think we started 7 academy players, whether either current or graduates, in our game against Inter Miami on just a couple of days ago. Yeah. So for us to be able to do that, and we do it with a point of emphasis and a point of pride, and it's kind of like this is the way our project works, whether we like it or not, or whether you like it or not, we're going to do it. Whether it's 15-year-olds on the field or 21-year-olds on the field, we're going to go after you with the best that our academy can produce, and hopefully give them an opportunity to kind of grow and see the Brendan Aronsons and become the next Brendan Aronson.
Yeah.
Here's a question: why not just build an academy in the Aronson household? It seems like
hey, there's an idea.
Right?
That's an idea.
It seems like they got the sauce in that family.
For sure. Look, I mean, you look at it, you got Aronsons, you got the Sullivans, you've got the Craigs.
It's a family business.
It's a family business. My kid's in this academy.
Right, we heard that too.
Congrats.
We've got a lot of these. And by the way, that's the first time I heard of the Cooligans. You guys cracked me up. We had just come back from Brazil with our U12s, and somebody on the Cooligans Twitter account put out, the U12s don't give an F about your about you or something like that. Your emotions. It was like 7-8-0 in one of the games.
That might have been me. There's a swear word. It's probably coming from this guy.
They don't care.
What do the academy players think when they? I'm sure the academy players or second team players play against the first team from time to time in training. But when they have to get like marked from Brujo. It's like, hey, this guy's he's an adult. I'm a child. Why is he playing?
Remind him I'm 16.
And he doesn't care about our guys' emotions either. No, look, I think it's great. When my kid could barely start walking, I was kicking him, and my wife would, what are you doing? It's like, trust me, it's going to work one day. It'll work. Like, it's the same thing, you know. When we play with those guys, it's at a faster, quicker, stronger level. And I think it's the best thing that we can expose our players to.
What about you? What got you into the sport? I looked up your age. I remember, Jersey was a big soccer town after the '94 World Cup. Is that part of what got you into the sport, or were you already grinding it out before that?
'94, I was already 18.
Okay. So, you played the sport already.
So, I was playing already. I don't know what got me into the sport. I grew up in a single-parent household. My mom probably, I think, stuck me in soccer just to get me something to do on a regular basis.
Get him out of my hair real quick, go over here.
And, for me, it was I was a good player, but I feel like I've always been a better coach than a player.
So much less running.
Isn't that great? Right? But I think, just growing up in a place like New Jersey where the diversity and the culture and, these guys play on these beautiful grass surfaces. We played on bottle caps and, broken glass as kids growing up in South Jersey, North Jersey, whatever you want to call it.
He didn't say Central Jersey.
But I think it's just something that you usually fall in love with. And I still remember the day I became an Arsenal fan and kind of just got exposed to international football. And, I listen to your podcast and hear you talk about Arsenal.
All day, every day.
It's a passion, right? And you get into football, it's a passion. I think I just got into a passion early on in life.
Okay.
What was the moment that made you fall in love with Arsenal, by the way?
My mother went and visited with my uncle just to go to London, and she brought me back like a winter cap that had an Arsenal. It was Arsenal, and that was it. That was my team. It's funny how that happens.
And the next thing you know, Thierry Henry shows up, and it's a beautiful team to watch.
Best player ever.
Oh, greatest.
Best goal scorer ever.
You know what? Here's a question. You get to see a lot of academy kids and stuff. How long until we get a Thierry Henry? That's American.
Man, the nines are the hardest thing to develop.
Thierry.
Thierry Henry.
Center forwards are the hardest thing to develop, right?
Yeah.
And it is difficult, and he was a special player. But I think we're getting there. It's clear how many kids we got going over to Europe now. And if you were to go to a youth event in this country now, you'll see more international scouts and agents than you'll probably see college coaches. And now that it's starting to turn a little bit.
Yeah, that we're in that. I feel like we're in the apex of that turn.
So it's coming. Yeah.
Okay, we got a couple questions from fans. We got a lot of Dupe members in here, a lot of Philly fans. Justin Freeber asks, who does Marlon believe is the next U2 player to make the jump to the first team? Is it Bono? Is it Edge? I'm kidding. Everybody's made this joke.
Wow.
We got it. You can't.
Wow. Thank God you've heard us before.
Okay, I just want to make sure everybody. I'm no threat to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, we got a few guys right now. Nelson Pierre is just 17 years old, who's come through this academy, scored twice against Inter Miami on the weekend.
Right.
Everybody's talking about Bajang Darboe as the next top player coming through, and he started for us against Inter Miami the other day. Jose Riasco just showed up from Venezuela, and he's one that I think a lot of people are excited to see and are probably waiting for me to get him on the field some more. So I think I think if I'm answering the question honestly, the only people who are in Union 2 are people that we see have a first-team trajectory.
Right.
And so literally any one of these guys are guys that can be moving up into the first team at any given point in time.
That's a beautiful way to run it. Yeah.
Another question. Thomas said a lot of U2 regulars starting tonight. How many goals do they put up on Orlando?
Oh, great. We'd like to see 3 or 4, right?
Okay. How do before you even answer that question, how do you feel when you see a U2 player and obviously they are playing on the first team and get that opportunity? I'm sure there's a little bit of almost like a parental feeling, like you really want them to succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think last year, I remember Paxton Aronson came in, scored against Chicago Fire. His very next game, he's starting against New England, and he scores his first professional goal, right? The very next game. So for us, Chicago Fire, and translate to the next one, and then Jack McGlynn playing for us, and then you see him step up against Nashville and score the PK, and yeah, absolutely. There's like a proud moment, obviously, seeing those young guys get a lot of minutes to get them prepared for that moment, and then kind of step up in those moments. It's a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, and I wonder as far as your relationship with Jim Curtin or the first team coaching staff, what's the conversation with the U2 where it's like, how much is Jim asking you like, hey, make sure there's a couple guys ready for me, or what's that kind of mix like and conversations like?
Yeah, well, Jim and I speak to each other almost daily. And we'll have more of a formal meeting with Ernst and the technical staff when we do kind of get guys set for the weekend. I wouldn't say, I think since it is so regular, there probably isn't like that specific moment that you're talking about. And Jim and I have known each other for a long time. Just Ray Gaddis played for me in university for 4 years. Right. Jack Elliott played for me for 4 years in university. So we've had a relationship well before I actually started working for the union. But I think, Jim's kind of influence on our team is really just more of a supportive role, and he'll text me before the game and say good luck. And but a lot of our conversations really are more kind of generic and a little bit more organic, just because we're around each other so often, and we train right before they do, and then I'll stay out at training and that kind of thing. So
you've known Jim Curtin for a long time. We've had him on the show. Is he really that nice? Is he really that cool? He came across so nice and calm. Like, this can't be really him.
Jim is probably so cool that you don't even know how to kind of interact with him sometimes.
That's exactly how I felt. That's literally, I'm like, how are you this cool? You're a head coach, bro.
You see him on the sideline, and you remember when he went running to the corner to celebrate with the guys?
Right.
That was like completely out of character for everything that I've probably seen about Jim, but it was such a cool thing for him to do in the moment.
Yeah.
But like you never see him stressing, you never see him flustered. He's the same way. Like when you talk to him, he's just a really down to earth guy who's a Philadelphia guy. And we talk about like Philly guys and who they are. Like that's Jimmy. Like he's been the head coach here forever, and like he'll go sit and have a beer with you, and wear an Eagles hat to the office. Like he's just a pretty chill guy. Yeah,
I mean, he's one of our like biggest supporters, man. He's been absolutely great to us. I have a couple questions, then we'll let you go. This is a question from a big Arsenal supporter, Poorly Drawn Arsenal. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter. He does a lot of Arsenal artwork. He will not.
He's incredible.
It says, does the club offer any kind of mental health support? It's got to be a lot on the kids with expectations. Yeah,
absolutely. I think in particular, mental health is at the forefront of all things athletics right now, wonderful. Right? And the kids all go to YSC Academy, which is a union-funded school where we have a full-time sports psychologist on staff at the school. So those kids have access every single day. Funny enough, Richie Graham, who is the father of the academy, right? One of the ownership group, literally just 2 days ago sent an email with an article specifically addressing mental health to our head of school, to our academy director, and to me to have a sit-down meeting on this. And so I think it's critically important. I think from my aspect as the coach of the group, if you were to ask me how often I talk about winning on a weekly basis, it would be maybe for a 5-second period on a weekly basis. We don't really talk about winning a whole lot.
Wow.
And I think part of it is that I believe that if performance and self-gratification is only rooted in the result, then these guys will never get to where they're trying to get to. They've got to see some of the pictures in between. And so we really let winning kind of take care of itself and not let the stress of that side of things be what is their driving force, because there's got to be some type of satisfaction and happiness that comes out of playing a sport that isn't rooted solely in the wins and losses.
Totally, and especially at this level, it's
important. You're developing.
So. Yeah, and you don't need the weight of the world on, on a second. You obviously you want to succeed, but
you can't be like, well, everyone's disappointed. So, that's not how it works.
Yeah, you want to be able to take risks and grow as a player.
And that's it. And we started a 15-year-old at the 10, the most important attacking position. The last thing he needs to do is feel the pressure of having to win when it's about his development, which is first and foremost.
Okay, I have a...
Well, hold on. I do want to ask, in regards to that, how different is it coaching now than, like, who was that guy, the basketball coach that threw the chair on the court?
Bobby Knight.
How different is coaching now compared to what that guy was doing back then?
Yeah, I mean, look, he was probably right at that time period. I think he got fired by Indiana, right, towards the end of his career,
right,
where things started changing a little bit. And yeah, you can't do that anymore.
No.
You know, the things that our parents said to us when we were kids, you can't say that anymore. You know,
no. My mother would be canceled
well.
every day of
the week. I think coaching is about getting the best out of a player, all right? And it's not just about telling them every time they do something wrong. Trust me, they know when they do something wrong.
Right.
My philosophy personally has always been to kind of personify your strengths more so than work on your weaknesses all the time.
Oh, right.
If you're a really good right-footed player, like, let's make you a great right-footed player.
Right.
Heck, David Beckham became a world superhero all because he could cross the ball with his right foot.
Right.
And I don't think we've ever seen him score a left-footed free kick goal.
Yeah,
so
he was also very handsome, so that helped as well.
It's why I paid attention. I'll tell you that.
It didn't hurt.
I was like, oh, he was right-footed. Cool.
So last question I want to ask. This definitely is, about a first-team question, but Jacob Glesnes, the amount of moments that he has provided this team, this fan base. Is there a Philadelphia Union 2 player that's like, oh, I'm gonna take a 45-yard free kick because I want to do what he does?
All the power of my ancestors behind it.
First of all, Jacob Glesnes is an unbelievable guy, by the way.
Really?
Down-to-earth human being. He's awesome. He's absolutely awesome. And I love how every time he touches the ball, now the stadium goes shoot.
Right.
It doesn't matter where he is on the field. Yeah.
Guys in the locker room.
No, it's an unmatched skill that he has, the way he hits the ball, by the way. Cole Turner will take his shot with us when he's playing with us. So
okay.
He's been known to give it a go from that distance. But what Jacob can do with the ball from distance is special. Like, you shouldn't.
What goes through your head when you see someone take a full target? What are you doing? At no point did we draw this on the whiteboard.
No. I wouldn't try it. I'd probably do a hamstring or a groin. Or
100%.
Yeah, because obviously you guys played LAFC, and that's where that the first one I remember was scored, and then the one in Atlanta was also wild. And obviously the goal against.
You had one here last year, where towards the end of
the game against Red Bull in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right, Red Bull.
And you guys got the first team is playing against Red Bull this weekend. So Marlon, an absolute honor. Best of luck, Philadelphia Union 2, the Philadelphia Union in their matches, obviously in the Open Cup as well. I hope the players that you coach that are playing tonight do well. And but absolute honor to meet you, man. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me.
So great having you on.
All right.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Marlon
guys.
LeBlanc, everybody, head coach of the Philadelphia Union 2.
Put that down.
All right.
Calls it Taylor Ham, folks. Most important thing we learned today.
All right. Thank you again, Marlon LeBlanc. We'll move on with today's show. You got it going? Okay, cool.
It won't shut off.
How was that? Thanks for all the questions, everybody. We appreciate it. Sorry for the ones that we did not get to. Dupsburg asked, who wins in an arm wrestling competition between Marlon and Jim? Which is a great one.
There we go. We're back.
There you go. You're recording there. Star Less Sign 28 said, I'm very afraid that Houston is repeating again like last year. Oh, the U.S. Open Cup.
U.S. Open Cup.
Well, they didn't. There wasn't a U.S. Open Cup last year, but the last U.S. Open Cup they did.
Which, by the way, was the longest running domestic competition before that. Did you know that? Because the FA Cup had a gap. U.S. Open Cup was the longest until that.
Oh, until that?
Yeah.
Bummer. Houston won against the Philadelphia Union in that U.S. Open Cup final.
I think Philly Union have been runners up 4 times.
I think 3, but
I think 4.
We want to.
You want to?
What was that? What was the number?
3.
4. 3. See,
I told you it was 3.
Okay, I did my research.
Yeah.
All right? Michael Raymond said that was super cool. Thanks.
Super chat, by the way.
Yeah, very much appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat, Starless Sign. Shouts to Marlon, and again, shout out to the Philadelphia Union, again, welcoming us in their space. We are in Subaru Park. We're at the stadium. The stadium is just a couple feet away from us.
I don't think it switched to the wide.
It did. Because we're not. This is the live. This is the feed that everybody else
right.
sees. Okay, boom.
There it is. What's up, everybody?
Seriously, we sincerely appreciate it. We said when we started doing the show, when we took back the show, we said we're gonna do the show where everyone else is. So this is nice to be. This is the first other city we're doing the show in.
Yeah. Also, if you're jealous that we're in Philly and not in your hometown, hey. why don't you tell the people that work at your club to hook us up, and we'll come out.
That's it. Hook us up.
Aight.
Like we're trying to date your sister.
Tell the Vancouver Whitecaps we're super cool. We have a dope car, and we'll get her home before midnight, dude.
Okay. And I swear, we have a job, I think.
Yeah. Well, look, regardless of whether we have one or not, we have money.
Stop asking questions.
Man, you are really... I'm not asking you on a date.
Justin Freeberry said, don't remind us about that, Christian. Yes, about the U.S. Open Cup loss.
But can he defeat 1 million Lions? You know what we're going to do? We're going to do a watch-along where I make Christian watch this YouTube video that got me thinking about this philosophical question.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Nick Red said, since you're in Philly, can you force Christian to eat a cheesesteak?
You know what? That's what we're going to do. And one of the questions was Patrick
Why is
Gino's.
it force?
Because you don't eat food, dude.
You can ask.
You know what you do? You stick your hand in a Tesla charger, and then you're like, I'm full, man.
I can't.
You're like a weird IT
Have
robot.
you considered asking politely? I might do it.
Never. Or maybe we'll hit up circles and squares.
Weston McKenney was trying to do a podcast at Chelsea. Is that a thing? I don't know what that means.
Why would Weston McKenney do one?
It might be a relation to a joke that we did not get.
Okay.
Trevor Walton said, when y'all coming to Maui?
Immediately. You set it up, buddy.
With Maui FC? Let's go.
Let's go. Maui. Wowie. Huh? John's roast pork. Fire. By the way, I actually prefer their cheesesteak over the roast pork, and I think their roast pork is pretty great.
I have no opinion on the matter because I don't know what he's talking about.
John's roast pork's fire. You can sit outside. I like it.
Okay. So obviously U.S. Open Cup is starting back up tonight. This is what, the third round, fourth round?
Here's the real question. Does it still matter?
Yeah, it does.
There's the answer.
Glad we've...
Wrap it up, folks. We did what we came to do. We drove 2 hours for that.
Look, we haven't had a U.S. Open Cup since 2019.
But they take away the CONCACAF Champions League qualifying position from the winner?
Incorrect. The winner gets a CCL spot.
I thought they took that away.
They did not take it away. So
what is it? It's the winner of Supporter Shield. It's the MLS Cup winner, Canadian
Open
Cup,
and U.S. Open Cup.
Oh.
I think what they changed I don't know if this is coming back, but it was had the winners of the Western Conference, first in Western Conference and Eastern Conference, or like if you win the Supporter Shield, the next best got a CCL spot, which I think that's done, and now we're going back to how it normally was.
Okay, NYCFC won MLS Cup.
They did.
Very successful. Everyone's very happy. We consider that the pinnacle.
Everyone? Not everyone.
Everyone involved. I asked Red Bull
Philadelphia
fans,
Union was never
been more excited.
The Philadelphia Union were not happy.
No, but like that's the pinnacle of the trophies, right?
Yeah.
Just below that, which one would you place? Would you say Supporter Shield or U.S. Open Cup?
So Supporter Shield is more difficult to attain, so I would say Supporter Shield.
Really? I assumed you were going to go U.S. Open Cup.
No, I mean, I would say U.S. Open Cup has the best bang for your buck. Okay?
It's a discount. I didn't know there was a value meal here.
You're an MLS team, you get put in, the second round, third round? You win 5 games? I think it's 5 or 6 games that you have to win, and then you're in CCL. That's a great deal.
I would just focus on that.
This is why I don't know why some of these coaches play, academy players in these matches have a lot of value. Right. So there should be obviously some players you don't want to overextend some of your first team players, but it can't be 8, 9 academy kids. Right. Trying to beat a team, that it plays in a beer league. Right, you got to take it a little seriously.
Literally playing for their lives. Like, this is the greatest.
It has some value. So
remember when that liquor store beat DC United?
That's Christos FC. That's the one.
FC,
that's what I'm kind of referencing.
That's what you were referencing. But I figured I'd extend that reference. Remember Kansas City took the U.S. Open Cup super seriously for so long?
Yeah, and they won it several times. Yeah,
multiple times. They have the wall. Our friend was there, helping out. I wonder how much it plays into the whole idea.
Hold on.
What?
Andrew Johnson said the Kinkos who made that whack banner was happy NYCFC.
Once again, it has to be the size of the pennant.
Which it's still, I read it because it was funny, and it did genuinely make me laugh. So it's all good.
No, it's still funny. If you can crawl, you can play. Says Siri Brown. Get in here, you 8-year-old. We saw what you did in the park this weekend.
No excuses. Okay.
We'll love to see a USL team in CCL. I'd love to see that.
Justin Freeberg said, surprised that both of y'all were able to drive down 95 on Alexis' scooter.
Again, Chritian sat in front of me, staring directly into my eyes.
Correct.
Which made it way more difficult.
But as far as yes, the U.S. Open Cup is significant, and it's.
Could you imagine us pulling off to charge 4 hours at a clip every hour?
So I would say it clearly has more value and more important than, let's say, like an FA Cup. The winner of the FA Cup gets what?
No, see, the FA Cup was like heralded. It was the
right.
Queen's Cup for a long time.
I mean, it is heralded and it has a lot of history. But as far as its value, even like monetary value, maybe not monetary value, but if you won FA Cup and got into a Champions League spot,
people be going nutty.
Yeah. Zach Steffen would not be starting in those games. In those games, right? Because it's too valuable. It's too valuable.
The reward is too valuable.
Right. So this is why I think teams, especially MLS teams, should take it a little bit more seriously.
I'd even say the best bang for your buck is the Canadian Cup. Although now those Canadian Premier League teams are causing a little bit of a stir.
Right, but it's usually always still an MLS team that wins it. But Thomas said U.S. Open Cup is best actual trophy of the three. That's a classy looking cup.
It is a classy looking cup.
Right? It has.
I remember, if you're an ugly cup, we ain't trying to win you, bro. You need to go to Dr. Miami, bro. That cup needs a BBL, bro. I ain't trying to win that.
I ain't mounting you anywhere. You gonna steal my mantle?
I can't be out here with you. This busted ass, dusty ass cup.
We're making the U.S. Open Cup self-conscious. Like, damn, bro. Why is this trophy got body dysmorphia?
Bro, you ain't watched enough Kardashian, bro. I hate this cup.
PFC Manor said, being a USL guy, massive having an MLS club visit and makes for great stories of upsets like North Colorado hailstorm out of nowhere. Yeah, that was
dope. Kids.
Was that this year or was that in 2019?
The logo is dope.
Right.
No, that was this past year.
That was this year? Okay, I don't remember.
Having Rebels coming to Hartford was a big moment.
Okay.
Yeah, even Rebels were surprised because there were fans there.
I think these as far as the matchups, I had them in front of me. Let's take a look at who will be playing tonight. Yes, Orlando and Philadelphia, DC United against Red Bull. So the Atlantic Cup happening there. Detroit City FC against Louisville. So there's two USL sides against each other. Miami against South Georgia.
Tormenta, by the way, they're playing really well. South Georgia Tormenta, out of nowhere.
Yeah, they won. Who did they win against?
They won against our boy Mikey Lopez, Birmingham Legion.
Right.
I watched that match. He came in the second half. Did a pretty good job, but not enough to beat South Georgia Tormenta, which, look, I don't know. They're the Cinderella story. Kind of feel right now.
Sure.
As long as they beat Inter Miami, and again, it's Inter Miami. They actually might win.
Okay. Sporting KC in Dallas and LAFC Portland. And LAFC Portland is definitely probably just feels like the most MLS-y of matches.
MLS-y.
Yeah. They have a bit of a history. Remember they got into little scuffles. Those matches are always going to be fun. I feel like NYCFC plays tomorrow against Rochester. There's a couple matches tomorrow. We'll talk about.
It's
them
the
later.
chopped cheese versus the garbage plate.
Okay.
You've never had a garbage plate before, right?
I have not. I look at the name of it. You think I'm going to order that?
Yeah. No, he ain't having it. If I told you just 3 of the ingredients that are in a garbage plate, you wouldn't go near it.
Freddie, I like Gordon said, I'll be at Orlando, Philly, $40 club seats with food and booze. I'm in. That's a great deal.
That's the Freddie Alarcon special right there. Yo, Freddie will find a craft brewery anywhere, bro. You put him on Mars. You'd be like, yo, did you know about this guy over here?
Joe Whitlock said ATL is basically down to their reserve team at this point. Anyway, we should talk about that because Atlanta United are down bad. Miles Robinson
another
injured.
Bad injury. Another U.S. men's national team player pulling up lame.
Yeah, I hate to see it. Tore his Achilles. And then the conversations are always about the turf and the artificial turf. And
apparently he punched the turf as soon as it happened.
Yeah, he really was like mad. He was pointing. It was like, how could you do this to me?
Yeah.
You know,
I thought we were friends. But apparently they changed it in the offseason, and everyone hates it. They changed the turf.
I don't know what that means. Everyone hates it. When you say who's everyone,
players have been complaining about it.
I don't know. I haven't seen that, but I have seen.
Yeah, actually, you did. You saw one you just talked about. He punched it. That's a complaint.
But it's in the moment. You can't. Look, Brad Guzan also tore his Achilles on the same field. I saw the head coach Gonzalo Pineda basically say like that they're obviously the team that handles the pitch, their physios, their sports scientists, they all are on top of this stuff, and nobody, they're not going to blame the pitch. Because why would they? But from all I've seen all these statistics, and a lot of people are saying that there are as many injuries on grass and that as similar to artificial turf, but artificial turf, what they're seeing more of is Achilles injuries, but you see ACLs on grass and turf evenly.
But the problem is
to my understanding,
the grass isn't causing those injuries, whereas the turf is. So maybe there's an even amount of injuries on both. Maybe there's some type of pull and play there.
Yeah.
But the turf is what's causing those injuries.
But there's no hard evidence to suggest that.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
Maybe you just didn't massage its back a little bit. Maybe the evidence just needs some time to get hard, dude.
Andrew Johnson, didn't they switch to the recycled tire turf? I know that there's
they made a change. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I assume they made the change, and I would hope that it is an improvement. But we're seeing.
Might be for the NFL team. But
these injuries, because even Joseph Martinez was not injured in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was injured somewhere else. But
I don't remember.
They're just in a bad spot. Ozzy Alonso also hurt, but he was not hurt.
He's also a little older. That's a bit more understandable.
Still, dude. I mean, it just shows the situation that they're in, and right. they don't have depth. They're missing huge players. But then let's talk about Miles Robinson, because now, obviously, he was going to the World Cup. He was gonna. It
looked like it.
Him and Walker Zimmerman were 1 and 2, and I think that was the expectation everybody had. And that is very unlikely now, given that this injury takes usually about at least 9-10 months being.
I know he had the surgery. They haven't said what his recovery period is.
Yeah, it takes a while, but he's a young dude. I hope he can make it, but then that puts into question who is going to replace him at center back for the U.S. men's national team. So
hurry up, Aronson family. Yeah. But can we get a cousin we don't know about? Somebody out here.
But who's remaining? It's obviously that haven't been called in recently. It's John Brooks,
Tim
Ream. Who else? Anybody else? Aaron Long.
Mark McKenzie.
Yeah. But he's been called in, so he should. I expect him to be there as one of the center backs called in. But
what's his Carter Vickers?
Cameron Carter Vickers,
yeah.
but he's a
right back, isn't he?
Full back, I think so. Yeah. But who would you want replacing Miles Robinson right now?
I said we go 3 at the back. Screw it.
So what 3? I don't even know what that means, but
you know what 3 at the back.
I know what 3 in the back. But when you said screw it, what is this?
Doesn't Greg Berhalter tends to play 4 at the back?
He does.
You know who would make a great center back? James Sands.
Okay, that's interesting.
I'm glad you said that, because that's what I thought when I said it.
I wouldn't want him at center back. If we're talking about the World Cup, we're going to World Cup. You want James Sands center back?
You know why? Because your center back doesn't have to sit back the entire time. He can bring the ball forward, which fits in a Greg Berhalter system, similar to the way like Ben White will sometimes bring the ball up.
But James Sands,
someone else will slide in as
James Sands is a great passer,
right?
Great defender. He's not really dribbling. He's not moving the ball past.
You don't want him to bring
up
the ball. Like, he's not going to all of a sudden become your number 10, but he can move up into that space. He becomes an even better passer.
Freddie Alecron said Carter Vickers is a center back. Okay, thank you for the clarification. I did not know.
Give Aaron Long a shot. You mean like a long shot?
Aaron Long, because he was injured for a long time, he had the ACL, if I'm not mistaken, and is obviously I think he scored this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Aaron Long probably.
Richards, I believe, is also injured. Damn.
Chris Richards, that's right. Oh, he was the other one that I had forgotten.
Jeez.
But he should be fine for the World Cup. So that begs the question. So pairing with Walker Zimmerman, first game of the World Cup. Is it Walker Zimmerman and Chris Richards, or maybe John Brooks? Assuming it's 4 at the back.
I can see the John Brooks Walker Zimmerman pairing working best.
Because John Brooks, everybody can't understand why he hasn't been called in. He's playing well for Wolfsburg.
Right.
But Greg is he's been very vague about why he's not calling him in. Just like
he knows what he did. You know, a lot of that.
Which is, if you're a soccer player, you don't want to be in that.
I gotta be honest, I don't know what I did. I really wish you would tell us, me and the media.
But I would be confident and comfortable with John Brooks there for sure.
John Brooks seems like a stable force. So does Zimmerman. Great on set pieces on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
I'm happy with that. Not my favorite ball carrying.
You think Greg leaves him out anyway because for whatever happened?
I hope not.
Right, it would seem pretty crazy if he left him off.
But it's also so petty that I kind of like it. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of mess with it. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. That's what you do, dog.
It's my kind of
guy. Don't ever do it again. I know you don't know what it is, but you need to think long and hard.
Freddie said, call up Tim Parker and be done with it. Tim Parker was pretty good at Red Bull.
He's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's, the competition is
I'd rather have Tim Ream than Tim Parker.
Okay. Tim Ream, I think will... If
elder
Brooks,
statesman by that time.
Yeah, if Brooks is left off, which I think would be strange, Tim Ream I think is, I think that's his spot. To be honest, I mean Fulham dominated the championship. They won. They won in England the English championship.
Scored 41 goals.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
So they absolutely dominated the championship. Who
knows?
Then
he's going to score 7 in the Premier League, Mitrovic.
Yeah, who knows how they're going to do when they're in the Premier League? But it feels like Tim Ream is probably going to get that spot. Okay. D-Stu says, sup, boys? What's good?
D-Stu.
Again, a reminder, we are here at Subaru Park.
A nice cold brew just said, yup, Brooks won't play for us again. LOL. What happened, bro?
Do you know something we don't? Man, it's crazy. But, yeah, again, shout out to the Philadelphia Union welcoming us here at Subaru Park. We are in the stadium. We're currently at the Subaru Esports Hub where they do a bunch of FIFA tournaments and stuff out here. This is Super Smash Brothers room.
He walked in here and he was like, oh, you guys are using E48 couplers. Very nice.
That's right. My favorite rapper, E48.
Sipping on that scissor. Whatchamacallit? Let me ask you, because we were supposed to talk about refereeing.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of missed calls. So when VAR started, we talked about this. Was this going to take away our ability to talk about these big, dumb calls? And apparently it's only increased it. Now we have more angles to prove the referees don't know what they're doing.
We could check their work.
Yeah. But when you look at this, so one of the biggest points of frustration was the NWSL Challenge Cup final. Handball, literally the dying seconds of the match.
Well, this was, the semifinal.
This is the semifinal. Sorry.
Right. The semifinal, rain against the Spirit, and a lot of people saw this. This was a pretty wild non-call at the end of the game. There's a corner kick, and I apologize because I can't remember who is it that 100% grabbed the ball.
Hit it with her elbow and forearm.
Right.
But does this make the sport more exciting? Is getting every call right really that important? Because it's never actually happened.
Look at the camera and ask that question.
It's never actually happened. No, I'm being serious.
Right.
When it's against your team, you're furious. But we've never had a game called perfectly.
Oh, yeah. Of course not. Yeah, but game-changing calls that will directly can affect the result.
You can't quantify any call because one extra, warning creates an earlier yellow. In the scheme of things, they're all game changing. That's how rules go.
Okay.
We've never had a perfect called match. There's no such thing as a perfect referee. So to some degree, I hated when Bethany Balser put up that she spoke to the sideline official who didn't call an offside and said, how did you know?
No, so it wasn't an offside. It was a goal line clearance.
A goal line clearance.
So basically, she felt that she cleared the ball. This was an NWSL regular season. She cleared the ball off the line. It hit the bottom of the post and went out. But the referee called a goal.
Right. So she said, how did you see it if I was blocking you?
Right.
And he said, I'm taller than you.
Which just
she's like, that's not how it works. She was like, you're not 19 foot tall. You're over there.
What, are you refereeing from a drone?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Are you strapped to one of those, Mission Impossible grappling hooks? The answer is no. So she said, you didn't get the call right, essentially. And he goes, who cares? It's just a goal.
Right, yeah.
It's just a goal. But then my counterpoint to that is, as shitty as that feels and as terrible as that is, and we do want better officials, they're never going to get it 100% right. So should we really be worried about it?
Well, the question you're asking, should we be worried about it, is we should be worried about it. Maybe not.
Why don't you tell me why as opposed to just tell me?
Right. So, and I will in a second. So I have the tweet up, so you can everybody watching on YouTube, you can see. But Alexis, quoted it correctly. But the
wow, that's almost like I've been given credit for something on the show.
The main issue is definitely the poor refereeing is, and we saw it in the Challenge Cup final. When you have poor refereeing, you have players taking bigger risks. They take more reckless challenges, especially as matches are more important.
I wouldn't blame the refereeing for that, but I would suggest that what you had said earlier before we started, which is having such an important competition be a preseason tournament, creates kind of a powder keg.
Right. And I think I was speaking about this with it might have been Taylor. I don't remember who I was speaking when Taylor co-hosted. But the Challenge Cup, is it an important tournament? Is it a preseason tournament that we're just getting ready for the regular season, or because of the prize money, are we busting our ass to try to win this? And we saw that in the final, so many reckless challenges. You saw Ashley Hatch kick, I forgot her first name, Urseg.
If you don't know, it was like a 300 kick from the movie 300.
It was studs to the ribs, bro. Like, it was look, and it wasn't intentional, but
no, Ashley Hatch is a wonderful person.
It wasn't.
It was a foul.
It was a foul. Deserved at least a yellow. At least something being like, hey, don't do that again. Something. Go to your room. Think about what you did.
We're gonna have to apologize for this. You need to write a letter to your congressperson. Somebody.
So that's my main issue with it. It's not. Of course you don't expect to get every single call right, and I don't think anybody's asking for that. But when players are genuinely in some danger, because the players, they're just trying to win the game. They win a trophy. You want them to try their best, but trying their best sometimes means I'm going to destroy some other woman's ankles.
But also, we've talked about how, even though most of the time the women's league is wildly physical, it's not called the same.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Which I think is an unfair balance.
Yeah, and that had, I had tweeted about maybe NWSL should have VAR, which I think it would be helpful.
100%.
but it seems like even without VAR, the quality of the refereeing seems to be a huge concern, because
at the very least, it's like a no blood, no foul kind of calling of a game.
I don't know why NWSL referees are so conservative with yellow cards. It really makes no sense to me.
There's a reason it's put in your pocket.
This weekend there was one, I think, Angel City, where it was a headlock and it was just a WWE move.
Yeah.
And nothing. It seems like stuff that's...
Well, I got to be honest. I don't know why they put the turnbuckle out there. I mean, this is causing problems.
Okay, it's one of the Angel City owners, a wrestler as well, whatever. It's By
the way, what was it? Joe Whitlock put Alexis, and then he quotes me, he goes, let me ask you a question. Now, disregard it because it's impossible to answer. That's about the referee.
Freddie Alarcon said that foul deserved la chancla.
Bro, you should get a bunch of Latin moms out there. VAR aren't going to handle it. Trust me, they will.
Okay, the fourth. If the fourth referee is your grandmother with a chancla, okay.
God. Let me tell you something. Better not be the physio because sana is not going to work.
Culito de rana. Yeah. No.
Get off me. I just pulled a hammy, abuela.
That's what Miles Robinson needed, right? He tore his Achilles, your sana culito de rana.
Right? And a little bit of ropa vieja. And now all of a sudden you feel better.
And Viva Peru, and you're good to go. Get back out there.
Breathe it in. You got to breathe it in.
So, no, it seems like, so this is my issue, and we're starting to, we see it in MLS as well. The more teams you have, the more matches you have, the more referees you require, then now it starts.
You're watering down the talent pool.
Of the referees.
Right.
The referee pool is getting a bit diluted.
Because we have referee relegation.
Now we're talking.
Okay. We wanted promotion and relegation. That's what the pro and pro referee stands for, dog.
Okay.
You didn't realize
it. But it is a concern, especially in NWSL, right? We saw the call.
Chris Matassa said NWSL refs have to pay for their own yellow cards, so they don't want to use them.
It sounds like teachers that live in poor school districts that have to buy their own school supplies.
It's the same thing. These referees are out at Office Max at the beginning of the year buying yellow cardboard to make
it's insane because look, if they just got calls wrong and people were mad at them, I would be like, okay, yeah, this is how refereeing is. But it is actually putting players in danger.
You know what'd be cool is if you got a yellow card, they put it like stuck to your forehead.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be cool? I lowered it because you can't shut it off.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you. Wouldn't that be cool? You just run around with a yellow on your forehead? Wouldn't that be cool? I don't think I solved anything here, but I do think it's a good idea.
Joe Whitlock said MLS should become a retirement league for EPL refs, right?
You know what? Actually, DP refs. We talked about this on this show before.
Right. It's not a bad idea.
We should have designated player refs.
So
but also EPL. Hey, no leagues like we got great refs. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Every league is like they're deaf and blind. You know.
But the semifinal. And we saw, I think Jess Fishlock had tweeted, an upset tweet because
she was very upset.
Wanted to obviously.
That's why she's in the thumbnail.
Because she obviously wanted to play in the final, and for it to be, I would say taken away. They lost in penalties.
You feel robbed.
100%. But I mean
especially because there's a purse attached to it. There's money that you win.
And there's it was clear. It was just such an obvious handball.
Is this an NWSL money issue? You think?
What do you mean?
The refereeing?
Like they're not paid enough to get good referees? I don't know.
That's the question I'm asking.
I would assume if you're refereeing at that level, you got the credentials. You should know what you're doing. Like in the final, there was I forgot who placed the tackle, but on the Brazilian forward, the from
Debinha.
Not Debinha. The new Carolina, I believe her name is.
Debinha got injured.
No, she was in there. She played that game.
Okay.
Carolina, she's a new player. She's just been there for a couple weeks, but she got fouled in the box, kind of on a breakaway, and her ankle. She had to leave the game pretty soon after. But her ankle got rocked, and it was maybe the positioning of the referee, of the center referee, maybe didn't from behind. The referee, there's no way the referee thought she got the ball, got all ball. She couldn't see it. There's no way. So maybe that's when the assistant referee has an opinion there or says something. But she clearly injured this player. Hear the train?
Sorry, we're living in we're living in the 1920s here apparently.
But that
who are they warning? What's the whistle for?
I don't know. Maybe I think there's cars can cross the track, so they probably have to ring.
No, that's when the bars come down.
Maybe that's
what's
happening.
The bars don't come down. They're like, nah, I don't hear a horn.
That's what. But
so
even if
there isn't a barrel of metal traveling thousands
even
of
if the
miles
bar
an hour.
comes down, they still honk the horn because there might be. This happens in New Jersey Transit, where cars get stuck on the actual tracks, or people may not be aware, or something. People are ridiculous. I don't know if you've met people, Alexis.
You know what? Stay away from them. We need NBA refs. They call everything, except travels. The only thing I don't like about VAR is that they still relies on the center ref being willing to say they were wrong on a call.
I mean, but yeah, like they have to. Hopefully they don't have an ego and can let it go and go with the right call. So
I mean, we've met refs before. Ego is a part of it for sure.
Sure.
Which you have to have because everyone's telling you you're wrong 24/7.
Yeah.
You know, and players are trying to get away with a little bit extra.
It's a difficult gig. Robin Skinny said ATL just scored a goal because of the train.
Oh, hilarious!
So no, but a big concern. And then the other one, I mentioned in Toronto. Toronto played against Vancouver, and I should just show this because this was ridiculous. This is on Twitter. I'll just show it to you guys because this is and you guys can give your opinion on this call.
This is the Toronto FC.
The Toronto FC.
Aren't we going to get dinged for this again?
Nah, bro. Who cares, bro?
Yeah, we don't need to monetize any of these videos.
This was not given as a goal. Keeper hits it off. Like
two great
saves.
But he loses the ball.
And clearly doesn't have possession of the ball.
It wasn't kicked out of his hand.
The ball is just not in his hands, not in his grasp, and he fakes. You don't see this from keepers too often, but he fakes a hand injury. I don't even think he got touched.
I think he fakes a face injury. I think he fakes that he got kicked in the face.
I don't know. It looks like I think he's holding onto his hand.
No, he's holding his face, dude.
Well, even if he got the ball first, so maybe if there was contact.
It was like the ball, the force.
The
of the
follow through, maybe the follow through.
It looked like you got mafia kicked in the face. That's what it looks like.
This is a weird one to call back.
I also don't. But here's the thing: we've now watched this 30 times before, and now this.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see any way where this is him having possession.
Yeah, I mean, the more you see it, there's nothing. To suggest that he had control of that ball.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't understand what VAR saw. So maybe you guys are right. NFL, MLS refs or pro referees don't want to admit they're wrong. Is that it?
I don't know. I mean, I believe VAR looked at this call, and
Freddie Alarcon said he was subbed off after that injury.
Oh, okay. But even still, look, an Ice Cobra said he bobbled it, unforced. Ball is live. Goal should stand.
Thank you.
There might have incidental contact, and he might have got hit, but he lost the ball.
Right.
So to take that, and then Toronto loses 1-0. So to add to the heartbreak of that loss, but this is to me this is clearly a bad call. Unfortunate injury.
Right.
But a very, very bad call.
But it's also a bad call because it went to VAR.
Right.
And they were like, nah, we don't see it. Well, how do you not see it? Everyone else sees it.
Just pretty wild. I mean, so it's been the last few days it's just compounding these errors and are quite a concern. I would hope, especially for NWSL, because that's where it seems more.
There's also so much interest in the league right now to have dumb calls go, for new fans to walk away with these referees don't know what they're doing, as opposed to look at the skill and talent that's on display.
Right.
That's not what you want. But also, I do think to some degree that frustration is like fans remember missed calls from like 10, 15, 20 years ago. You know what I mean?
Thomas said, Pro issued an apology, quote, an apology, to Jim Curtin after they blew a non-red call on Kai Wagner. So I guess we're even Stevens. Was that also against Toronto? I think so.
Maybe, but
a couple weeks ago.
Is an apology enough? You don't get points in the table for an apology.
That'd be nice if you did, though.
Right? You got to go up to Garber's office, be like, how many points do I get for this apology? We counted. It's 180 words. Yeah.
So okay, it's like trading your points at a carnival.
You're at an arcade. You get how many tickets is that apology?
So a big concern. So yeah, like I said, I think for NWSL it just feels a bit more reckless because I think it can lead to more injuries when these games have to be. It's not even just simply refereed as like calling balls and strikes. It's like you have to be a little bit like keep everybody at bay. Like you can't be knifing each other in the playground.
Yeah. You can't come out with some slap shot type. You know what I mean? You gotta relax. And also, very different in baseball. I mean, obviously, other than like headshots and stuff like that. But in baseball, a missed strike call or a missed ball call doesn't potentially end someone else's career.
Right.
Like what can happen in a soccer match. So, hopefully these things get taken care of.
Okay. Let's take a quick look at the MLS
this is his favorite thing to do, folks.
Table. Is there something else you would like to discuss, Alexis?
No, this is fine with me. I'm just letting people know this is your favorite part of it.
Because
he loves looking at the table.
We're currently at Subaru Park. The Philadelphia Union are leading the Eastern Conference with 19 points. And I want to Philadelphia are playing New York Red Bulls this weekend. Mm-hmm. But there's a fascinating stat here because the New York Red Bulls have not won a game at home. They cannot win at home. They've drawn 2 and lost. They've lost 2 and drawn 3. But they've won every single game away.
They hate their fans. I think that's why you got to look at it.
Okay, we figured it out.
All right.
They don't want to see their fans smiling at Red Bull Arena, but pretty surreal. I've never really seen anything really like this. I mean,
it's just the beginning of the season. It's hard
but
for
to
me
win. I understand maybe not winning any of your games at home, like FC Cincinnati exists, so we understand.
Right. They're doing better.
They're doing better this year.
They're doing better.
But to win all of your, not even draw, to win all of your games away,
right?
That really says something about. I mean, look, and they're playing this Saturday away here at Subaru Park. So I think we were talking to somebody on the Union staff, and I said, "Oh, the Rebels haven't lost; they've won every game away." They're like, "Oh, really?
Oh." Should we play this game at Red Bull Arena?
But pretty surprising. It's kind of impressive just to have that kind of stat line. But I'm sure it's disappointing for Red Bulls fans to not be able to win one at home, which is when the team seems like they're in pretty good form. Okay, I was at the game for NYCFC played against Sporting Kansas City. You got to see Kyrie Shelton back in Citi Field, right? And
he also didn't score, just like he did when he played
here. They had him on lock, but it was 0-0 this
game. He's
had
a great career though.
I would say so. He had a pretty last season, right? He did pretty weak. He got like 7-8 goals, I think, for Sporting Kansas City.
First player to recognize us.
Right. We'll always remember that. Good dude. Okay. LAFC is leading in the Western Conference, and they had a great game. Philadelphia Union did play against LAFC.
That's right.
That ended 2-2. I'm sure they had the lead and gave it up, so disappointing. Oh, actually, we could probably wrap here because it's probably a pretty big issue. Austin FC. Have you heard about what's going on with their designated player, Cecilio Dominguez?
I've heard a little bit about it.
So just to catch everybody up, so obviously he got suspended. I don't know if suspended is the right word, but he is not playing because there was an investigation for domestic abuse.
Domestic abuse, yeah.
And there's a strange sort of thing going on, especially with the fan base. We saw it at the stadium. They had a lot of signs for, domestic abuse, like a hotline and just trying to help victims of domestic violence. And so to my understanding so the fans don't want him to play. Right. The MLS did reinstate him. There was an investigation. So that's what from what I've heard.
I'm assuming it was inconclusive.
I don't know.
To reinstate a player?
Yeah, I don't know if it's I don't know if inconclusive is the word. I think they couldn't prove. So to my understanding, that there wasn't physical violence, but there was like emotional abuse. So that's and to the point where it was the victim, I think, told somebody on the team, and someone in the team reported it to like the front office, right. And then the front office reported it to Major League Soccer. So it seems
in
like
order to reinstate someone, I would assume it had to be inconclusive, that there was no evidence of abuse.
Yes.
whether physical or not.
Oh, I don't know. So I can't say. It seems so. This is the gray area that I think this is where fans don't know exactly how to feel. They don't know. Like it seems like there's not clear evidence that he was physically violent, but he did something. And there's apparently another story of I believe it was in Argentina in like 2016. Another. I think the charges were dropped, but another like domestic violence case. So because he's currently in counseling, to my knowledge, and but this is putting fans in this weird spot where they don't know, should they be supporting this player again? Do they want him on the team? Some people do, some people don't. Some people say like, well, if he's getting help, maybe that is sort of enough.
I mean, I'm happy that he's getting help so that this doesn't continue to happen. But I would say it's up to the victim.
Okay.
You know, how does the victim feel about having this player go back and sort of continue to, you know, be a superstar? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's look for you know, obviously this is their second year, right? For Austin FC,
right?
It's, you know, like it was like it's fun in games first season. You have the green lights and everything, and then, you know, obviously it becomes a much more serious issue, and fans have to come to terms with what they sort of expect of their team.
It's
and
hard to
their
grapple
front
with
office.
something like this because you don't want to support someone who's a bad person,
right?
But if there's nothing you can do about that, it kind of puts you in a precarious position.
Yeah, it's interesting. Look, I don't know if
you don't want to boo your own player for scoring, right?
You don't know, like, if you know, we haven't heard anything from Cecilia. We don't know if there will ever be any kind of statement or anything like that.
And as Colbert said, if only we could trust the authorities to conduct thorough and objective investigations.
Look, it's
kind of agree with you there.
It's interesting because it's like it is an issue of trust, but then it's also what can what can they prove, right? They have to find evidence. They have to prove something. Right. So there is a burden on their part to say, like, he definitely did something.
And the police weren't involved?
I don't know. I don't know all the details, so I don't want to speculate. But that is what I know so far. I know he is reinstated. So if there is a reinstatement, there's either not enough proof to say that he did do something wrong, or there's some belief maybe on the club's part to say, like, maybe he did do something wrong, but we can help this guy.
Is this train showing up in this room? Why is it getting louder? Hopefully that it all clears itself up, because it's pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Domestic abuse isn't just physical, so hopefully that all clears up.
Exactly.
Pretty terrible. The train agrees with us. I do want to talk about one more thing, because a former MLS player is doing really well in Germany. The train, right? This sounds like the train is like trying to get involved in the conversation, doesn't it? It's like it's trying to block out everything I'm saying.
I have 2 cents, you know.
Wants to be on the podcast. Alphonso Davies.
All right.
Have you seen this?
I have seen this.
Okay. We tweeted it out.
Can we play this? Or is this copyright?
I don't know if it's official.
I don't know what it is. But I'll show the video without audio. But yeah, Alphonso Davies.
He's doing a lot. He's a TikTok star.
And he's great at TikTok.
He is incredible at TikTok.
I'm a fan of it.
He's still injured, if I'm not mistaken. So he's got a lot of time on his hands. Mm-hmm. And apparently, he took his broken hand into a studio.
Yep.
And he recorded a drill track.
I think we can play it, right?
This
is not a license. He's not putting this. Is this out like on Spotify?
I don't think it's on Spotify, but it's out.
It's out.
You know what? We're gonna play it.
Okay, Alphonso Davies has a song. I mean, it's so. This is my issue with it.
Some of the lyrics are pretty wild for a kid who was a professional footballer at 16.
So look, Alphonso Davies is growing up in front of our eyes,
right?
And he is a. Let's play. It's a couple. I'll play a couple seconds of it. All right, here goes. Oh wait, let me make sure you guys can hear it. I don't even know. Okay, yeah, you guys can hear it. So here goes.
Go itch, every time I grab on the stick, yeah. You know I'm getting rich. Getting that paper, I'm getting that money. Let's go. You think shit's funny? It's funny. Hop on this beat, yeah, now go dummy. Put up with a big man, you know I got big stacks. Broke that nigga like a Kit Kat. That's how you fix that. These niggas all big cap. Henny in my hand, gotta sip that. Your girl on my dick like an acrobat. What? Get me to where the money at. I put her to the scene, have a heart attack. Fuck around, pull out the fucking strap. Hey.
Okay.
Meanwhile, he's very public about his loving relationship with Jordan Hutema.
Yeah.
I hope I pronounced that correctly. Here's the thing. Drill's a very aggressive form of hip-hop.
Right, and it's not just a form of music, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah. And usually the things that are said in drill music have repercussions in real life. And, he's talking about getting top. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't want to say it so that I get in trouble. He's getting sloppy toppy, from your girl. He's talking about splitting like a Kit Kat. He's talking about, I even posted, I was like, don't worry, Bayern Munich. The straps he's talking about getting are these, and it's the workout straps. Because I don't want the kid to get in trouble either. But how old is he now? 21?
I don't even think he's in his 20s. Isn't he like 19?
No. He's got to be 21 now.
No, I don't think so. How old is Alphonso Davies? That's confirmed. But this is why we're asking, because he's
21.
He is such a wholesome young man. This is my issue with this.
So we thought.
He's a sweet boy.
Remember when Drake followed him? It all went downhill after that.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, downhill. He had just won Champions League.
Yeah, but now he's doing bad drill tracks with his friends.
And this is the problem with a lot of
kids with money.
No, with hip hop, especially with drill, it's you can't just be a good rapper. And I'm not calling Alphonso Davies a good rapper.
But please don't.
He ain't bad. He ain't bad. But there is.
Is this his? Like when what's his name? Clint Dempsey.
Yeah, somebody just asked this question. Is who was it? Robin. Better or worse than Clint Dempsey?
See, I think Clint Dempsey has stayed away from that. He's never talked about it. That track.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he's happy that he doesn't like it referenced.
But as far as, to me, Clint Dempsey is more about that life than Alphonso Davies.
He's from Nacogdoches.
So that's why.
Here's the thing: it's a small town, and we all know about Nacogdoches. Like it's
like more believable from Clint than it is Alphonso.
Alphonso Davies is like wholesome is a good way to put it. He's like a nice guy.
He's all
Alphonso Davies will help your grandmother across the street. He ain't no robber. You know what I mean?
Because
who allowed this to happen? Bayern Munich doesn't seem like the type of organization that wants their players being rappers.
I don't know, because we've seen like Robert Lewandowski do terrible TikTok dances.
Horrific TikTok.
Are those more embarrassing than this?
Have you seen one recently?
It's been a minute.
I think Bayern Munich got on the phone and was like, "Hey, yo, Lewandowski, you ain't Lewandansky. You need to cut it out."
Because this, look, I don't know. Look, clearly,
is he Alphonso
Bayern
now?
Does nothing. The Bayern Munich does nothing but succeed, and Alphonso Davies.
But they're a machine.
They're an institution of success
and properness.
I don't know about that. Their players have character and identity. I wouldn't say
not crazy. The most loose we've ever seen them is Oktoberfest.
They throw beers on each other and stuff when they're.
Is he Alphonso Drilvies now? Is that who he is?
It is. Look, I'll say this. It's a cause for concern. This music video. Okay, I feel like
Dad. You feel like
I feel like
a worried stepdad.
Yes,
I can't be the one to say it, but somebody needs to say it.
Okay, I feel like. Like a concerned immigrant father. It's like, well, this is going to make us look bad.
Right. The village is going to start asking questions.
The actual, Jess Howland said, actual question, better or worse than Sergio Ramos's rap tracks?
Wait a minute.
Hold on. I've never heard of this.
Everybody stop what you're doing.
Does Sergio Ramos have
Sergio Ramos rap?
I guess we're going to have to look this up. Sergio,
what?
Like reggaeton or like rap?
He's got a couple of tracks. Sin Miedo, Iluminado.
Excuse me?
Excuse me? Wow.
This is news to me. I don't know if we can play these. Are these licensed tracks?
¿Quién me salva a mí? Who's going to save me, bro?
Okay,
The answer is yes.
No,
Sergio
these
Ramos
are on
is
YouTube,
ripped
so I
up.
don't want to play them straight from YouTube.
No, we're gonna get in serious trouble. We might get two-footed.
Okay, but we might have to, maybe for Patreon or something, we'll dedicate time to
We'll do some Sergio Ramos reaction.
Sergio Ramos rap reactions.
I can't believe the sentence you just said. I cannot put two and two together.
Join our Patreon. We'll do that on there. Patreon.com/soccercooligans.
Well, we will do this. We will do Sergio Ramos, and we will crown the best football rapper.
You just said we will do Sergio Ramos. End of sentence.
Join the Patreon, dude. It's gonna get wild.
Okay, you're taking too long to end those sentences like this.
It's like the guy in France. It's like, make love. Brooklyn way.
Crimson Pizza said he's from Spain, though, so it's excuse me.
Excuse me. Wow.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Mandem need to get out the booth and back into the physio's office. Nice cold brew. Bro, I think he watched too much Top Boy. He's doing drill now?
Bro, it's a bad influence.
What if it's fire though?
I mean, look,
what happened?
This is his first track. You got to give everybody a chance.
Who said yes to this? You need Christian. If I came to you and I was like, yo, I got this idea. I think I'm going to do a drill track. You'd be like, what's the joke? And I'd be like, no, I'm taking it serious. What would you do next?
Yeah. I mean, I would, of course, encourage you because I want to laugh my ass off.
I get that. What do you think my wife would do?
I mean, look, she couldn't file the divorce papers fast enough.
Fast enough. She'd be like, Your Honor, he's about to do it. We can't be together.
There is cause, Your Honor.
I can't be here when he does this.
Nick Red said it's not possible to watch too much Top Boy.
Did he grow up like in the hood of Vancouver?
Well, he
was he in the ends.
I don't know, but
was he in a trap?
But Alphonso Davies came from
Ghana.
Ghana, right? Was it Ghana?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did he come here, go to Canada as a refugee?
I believe he did.
Okay, I don't remember if he did. So, I mean, look, he may have had a tough upbringing, but definitely the last, I don't know, maybe 8-9 years of his life, I feel like have been pretty good. I don't know.
I feel like he's been I
don't know where the source material for these raps are coming from exactly.
Also, terrible timing with what's going on with Young Thug and Gunna. Bro, not the time to be spitting these bars.
I don't want Alphonso to get caught up in a RICO case.
Because Der Spiegel is about to get to the bottom of this, buddy. They get to the bottom of everything.
Oh, I love this. Alphonso, a nice Cobra said, Alphonso Drilvies.
Thank you. I said that 3 times, bro.
I didn't hear it. Nice Cobra said it first.
How dare you, bro? I said, yo, is he Alphonso Drilvies now?
Okay, everybody.
Canadian Texas, Alberta. I thought he was from Vancouver.
But where he grew up. I don't know. Maybe he moved to Vancouver. I don't know.
Snow, the rapper? Informer. You know it's funny? Our friend Andrew Scholes, very successful comedian now, doing wonderful things. One of the things I was most jealous of is that he brought Snow out on stage with him.
Really? I did not know he did that. That's hilarious.
In Toronto.
Bro.
Fire.
Who are we bringing out?
Where's the show?
Where's the show? I mean, I don't know. Where's the show? The show's
if it's in Munich, it's Alphonso Drilvies, dude.
Alphonso Davies opening for us,
bro, with a drill track. Yo, that might be I take back everything I said negative, bro.
You know, you need every comedian needs an opening act, and they have to be hilarious. So,
now we definitely ain't getting it, bro.
Shout
Sherry
out.
Brown put Snow. Well, where? Chill your Montana ass down. He ain't talking about real Snow. It's a rapper.
Shout out to the Philadelphia Union again for welcoming us here at Subaru Park.
By the way, a nice girl Bruce said Sergio got barths.
Love it. Great work. Thank you to the Philadelphia Union welcoming us here at Subaru Park. Absolutely honored to be here. We're here at the Subaru Esports Hub.
It's in Subaru Park. We are literally maybe 40 feet away from the pitch.
Right.
It's so dope. Beautiful, beautiful space.
And they do. They obviously they have like gaming tournaments here, but this is I believe this is like a space people can rent. So if you're a Philadelphia Union fan or you live in this area, maybe you want to host a children's party here. I think literally they can have.
Don't just say children. There's a lot of of adults that we know from our time at OS Gaming who love this.
Okay.
So maybe you just want to throw yourself a party. Maybe your wife left you because you played too many games. You know what? I'm throwing a divorce party at the Esports Hub.
Throw your divorce party here at Subaru Park.
I'm sure it's the messaging.
Right.
Subaru's really hoping for
the
it.
union marketing department are like, you guys are.
Couldn't have thought of it ourselves.
And you did that, what, like on your feet, right off the dome?
That's off the cuff. Wow. Speaking of cuffs, the police are here.
But no, we had an absolute honor here coming to Subaru Park. You know, we're taking this show on the road. We're doing it all over the place. So it's really, really cool, the Philadelphia Union, to have us do something like this. So we're very, very grateful. Shout out to Marlon LeBlanc, head coach of Philadelphia Union 2, for joining us earlier. If you joined us late on the broadcast, you can listen to that on the podcast.
I will. Everyone can calm down. He did say it's called Taylor Ham, just in case you were worried.
Right.
You're trying to scroll back. Don't even do it. He said it's Taylor Ham.
Right. It all checked out. We vetted him quite nicely.
Yeah. Because I'd hate to wheel him out of here after he said it incorrectly.
But really, really cool of him to join us for a chat to let us know what's going on in MLS Next and the Philadelphia Union too. So that podcast will be available tomorrow, or just watch this YouTube video back. Subscribe on our YouTube channel if you have not yet. As always, you can join our Patreon. We have a lot of fun stuff coming soon.
And we will be doing the Sergio Ramos rap track reactions. Also, D. Stu said the dynamic of Chritian trying to get through the shout-outs and keeping order in the show while Alexis is like, yo, this comment LMAO is why I'm here.
This is...
And I did it again.
Okay, this is...
also, we're both wearing pink.
I know my job.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay. What is it? Mother's Day. Maybe for Mother's Day.
Oh,
right?
Mamacita.
Okay. I mean, we don't call your mom Mamacita, but...
I was thinking about another mother. You know what I mean?
Okay. I don't know what kind of relationship you got going on there.
I'll make a drill track about it.
My man Oedipus, my co-host.
Oh, yo, what a reference.
Let's go. So
Oedipus T-Rex.
Well, you know what? I glad I didn't forget to do this.
Freddie Alec said we should do our Cooligans birthday party here. Cooligans birthday party 2023 at Subaru Park, EA Sports FC 2320. I say we do it. Is it official now that it's not FIFA anymore?
What?
It's EA Sports FC.
Oh, I don't know. Did they lose the license?
Yeah, no. Remember they're changing the name? Dude, I told you. They should have just called it soccer, dude.
Okay.
EA Soccer.
Yeah, soccer. Okay.
It's in the game.
The Seattle Sounders kit that we mentioned that we're giving away. I know the winner. We have selected a winner. So this kit is autographed. Hold the one end. So this kit is autographed by the Seattle Sounders, the entire team, 2019 MLS Cup winning team.
2018.
But they won the MLS Cup in 2019.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Again, thanks. Shouts to MLS who gave us this kit to give away. And so the winner of the kit is Nick Denny.
Nick Denny,
thank you so much for participating.
Will they get an email or?
Yes. I will reach out to Nick Denny. Let him know.
I should know that.
But yes, so shout out to Nick. Thank you for everybody who participated.
So if you're Nick Denny, I'm assuming you're a Sounders fan.
Yes,
your team just won CCL, and now you just won a kit with a bunch of autographs from the team that won previously.
Right.
The MLS Cup. Isn't that incredible? You can't stop winning if you're Nick Denny.
And you can't stop winning if you are a Cooligans fan, because
what a great way to put it.
I mean, look at that. We just making people happy. You know, inspiring others. Happy to do it. Okay. All right. Okay, so everybody, thank you again for joining us out here at Subaru Park. Shout out to Philadelphia Union. Thank you to everybody who joined us on the live. Always an absolute blast. And as always, join our Patreon, patreon.com/soccercooligans. We have the video of our Paris trip from the first game, Messi's first game at PSG, and us gallivanting around Paris. So you can
eating croissants with our arms.
So you can catch that on Friday. So join our Patreon if you have not yet. Okay. Anything else before we wrap up, Alexis?
Crimson Pizza said, "Did you know my name is Crimson Nick Denny Pizza?" Wild.
Awesome. We have more. We have a couple other autograph kits that we're going to be giving away soon. So stay tuned.
Just thank you once again to the staff here at Philadelphia Union, for the Philadelphia Union for allowing us to walk through your spaces and pick a cool spot like this. And thank you again for Subaru Park for creating this dope space for all the gamers out there. We're gonna take something. We're not sure. Maybe a PS5 or something. Something's coming home with us. But thanks once again for allowing us in here.
All right, seriously, you guys are the absolute best, man. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for making stuff like this happen. To all the listeners and viewers, you're the reason why we get to do this kind of stuff. So seriously, thank you for the support. All right, everybody, have a good one. Peace.
Love you guys.